Well, without a doubt, our biggest win of the year. It's a much needed one, and it seems like it's been a little while since we've played a game like this, which is crazy to say, but it's just this is kind of baseball. I mean, I love being a part of and coaching and players. I know they love being a part. There's just so much energy. It's the loudest by far and away. We heard our crowd, which was great. We know it's limited, but the fans were awesome, and just big win. You know, it was in terms of the meaning of the game, where we're at in the ACC, where we're at, and just all kinds of factors out there. And to be down, which we haven't been great at, but we were down, but it wasn't one of those where we were down 7, 8, 9 runs like we've been in some of these losses. Everybody, you could just feel that we still got a chance, and we hit some balls hard. Just ball was not going anywhere. Wind was blowing in, unusual this time of year, but blowing in hard, and we hit some balls on the button, but just you know, with the wind and situation didn't go. But just a huge win for our team and our program, and of course it was a total team effort. A lot of great play by a lot of players.
All right, Gino, our first question for you comes from Susan Miller Degnan of the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Gino, congratulations.
Thank you.
It almost seems to me like it was more valuable winning this way than getting. I'm sure you'll take the win any way you can get it, but just for a lot of different reasons, it seems like it's more valuable the way you won today than taking a lead and keeping it.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
say
think about
I
that?
agree with that. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you're right. Any win is good in this one. This game was big, so any W will take. But the way we won it, in the fashion of scoring, the 4 runs there in the seventh inning and being down like that late 4-3, and also the fact that how we got beat on Friday and how the team was able to respond after Friday's game of getting pretty much handled, which has happened to our team a few times this year. But more than we want to say, but for our guys to pull it together and put up a good game yesterday and give us a chance to win the series and then do it today like we did, being behind. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping this is something that we can take with us and really take off with.
Thanks.
All right, Gino, we're going to go to Christopher Stock of Inside the U. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, you touched on that. It took a lot of contributions from everybody. Obviously, in the seventh, guys got on base, but just can you speak on Tony's hit and then Adrian to follow that up? Those were your hits in that inning after a number of walks.
Yeah, the two biggest hits of the game was Tony's certainly to bring it within one, and then of course Dell's that won the game. It was the game-winning hit. Um, yeah, clutch hits and big situations there, and really again happy Tony had a great weekend, and of course just his job obviously as a leadoff guy is to get on base, but when he comes up in a situation like that for any leadoff hitter, we tell, of course, guys in scoring position, you need to be an RBI guy, which means you need to now be more aggressive and you need to really look to be for a pitch that you can drive. And he got a pitch I'm sure was probably middle away, and he drove it to right field. And of course, Dell, of course, Dell's been an RBI machine for us for 3 years now. So yeah, I was feeling very confident, certainly with him up at the plate in that situation. And yeah, he came through. And of course, we had Tony at second base at the time, which we needed some speed because the left fielder has a good arm. We knew he had a good arm. And he just fielded a little awkwardly, which is why I sent Tony. And I'm just awfully glad it's a high throw, and glad Tony hit the plate because I was nervous when they replayed it because I couldn't tell if he did touch the plate or not, but I did know he beat the throw.
You touched on being comfortable with Adrian at the plate. I assume comfortable with Carson there in the back end. Just again with what he's able to do there, and then also if you could just touch on Jake's performance.
Yeah, Carson is definitely he's a unique pitcher, and we need to get him in more situations like this. We haven't had him in enough situations, and here he is with all these saves. But imagine if we played a little bit better baseball the way that we would have liked earlier. He'd have quite a few more saves because he's been pretty much dominant in the outings that he's come in. And yeah, you're right. It's an easy job, coach's job, to go to him late in the game when you got the lead. And and it worked out. It just worked out perfectly. We were going to bring him in anyways. In the situation we were in the last game of the series, we were going to bring him in the eighth, even if we were down, which we normally wouldn't. But last game of the season, we wanted to keep that whatever lead they had at the time and keep throwing him in for a couple innings so maybe we could come back and then Fed could throw after him. but it worked out perfectly where we scored all those runs in the bottom of the seventh, and boom, here he comes in now in his comfort zone, 1-run lead. And yeah, I felt very, very confident, same way as I did with Dell. And in regards to Jake, I thought Jake threw really well, really well. I mean, he was throwing, commanding the zone, changing speeds. I thought he threw excellent. And then, he got into that, I guess it was the, goodness, fourth, fifth inning, and, the guy gets on, and that was a hit and run. That was a hit and run that I guess it's their 2-hole hitter hit out of the ballpark in right field. And just, I'll have to look at it, but obviously that guy's very good on pitches in, middle in, and down. If I had to guess, it's somewhere in that box area, and he crushed it. And then, of course, the next guy, I think, was a breaking ball he left over. So, a couple pitches that gave them those runs right there in the fifth inning. But I thought he threw great. And maybe the biggest inning was the second inning, first and third, nobody out. In the past, we give up a lot of runs, and he just minimized it. He gave up 1 run. He gave up the 1 run that was at third base, got sack fly with 1 out. But that was it. That's all they got out of that. And that ended up being the difference. We won by 1 run. He minimized that inning. Big inning for us. Great job by Jake.
And then do you have a starting pitcher for Tuesday?
I do not.